Hi, I'm Adam Rector. I've been training in the martial arts for more than 8 years. This is my assistant, Dylan Cashbaugh.
Hi, I've been practicing martial arts for 4 years. Thanks for having me.
Today we are going to share with you... Hi, I'm Adam Rector. I've been training in the martial arts for more than 8 years. This is my assistant, Dylan Cashbaugh.
Hi, I've been practicing martial arts for 4 years. Thanks for having me.
Today, we are going to share with you some Filipino stick fighting techniques from the martial art of modern arnis. Please do not attempt these techniques without a qualified teacher present. Modern arnis flourish based on various cultural influences and encounters in the islands of the Philippines, using primarily swords, machetes, knives, and blades to fend off foreign invaders and fight amongst themselves. The Filipino martial arts became known for their weapon work. Today, we train primarily with sticks for safety. However, much of the training is designed to integrate long blades or knives into the style. The practice with angles of attack and line recognition done with stick work prepares the student for the closer combat of empty hand. After going over some basics of footwork, grip, and angles, we will demonstrate the technique of single sinawali and show variations without a weapon, with 2 sticks, and with a single stick. Let's get started. First, let's go over footwork. There are 2 primary footworks we use in Filipino martial arts. The first is the female triangle. We're going to start with our feet together and slide off on 45-degree angles along the line of our sticks here. We're carrying our weight over our front foot in each instance. This is primarily defensive footwork, and you'll see us use this later on. The second style is the male triangle. Here we're going to keep our feet focused at the point of the triangle. Our weight's heavy on the front, and we're stepping back along the angles of the sticks. This opens our hips into strikes to allow us to get more power. Those are the 2 basic footworks. Let's talk a little bit about holding the stick. This is a typical stick we might use for Filipino stick fighting. You want a nice solid grip on the stick. Make a nice fist, cap it with your thumb. This way you have a strong grip and the stick won't fly out when you hit something. The other thing you want to look at is the angle between your forearm and the stick. You want to maintain a 90-degree angle as much as possible. When you swing, you can increase this angle slightly, but too much will lessen your grip. The other thing that you want to think about is what's called the puño. This bit of the stick coming out of the bottom of your hand is called a puño, and you want it to be about 1 to 2 inches long. This varies depending on style, but we're going to try to stick between 1 and 2 inches. Let's talk a little bit about swinging the stick. You use different numbered angles of attack in the Filipino martial arts, and we're going to cover the first 5 for modern arnis. The first one is a descending diagonal cut from your right shoulder to your left hip. The second one is a descending diagonal on the other line. Then you're going to cut straight across the middle and back along that same line. The final angle is a stab to the midsection. So that's angle 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You can work this with a partner. We're going to have our sticks meet in the middle, and we're using that male triangle footwork to open our hips. That was angle 1. This is angle 2. On 3 and 4, we're going to angle up slightly to avoid hitting each other's hands. And on angle 5, we can just scoop this stab out of the way. So once again, angles 1 through 5 is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 right there. Now that we've covered some basics of footwork, grip, and angles, let's start with single sinawali. In single sinawali, we're going to start using our empty hand because it's a very easy motion to explain that way. We're basically going to do high fives on the high line and then a low 5 on the low line, and then switch to our other hand. We're just slapping palms, but this is the Sinawali motion, this high-low motion. Kind of looks like martial arts patty cake, but there is a purpose. When we put sticks in our hands, that purpose becomes a little more clear. Dylan's using 2 sticks, so he's going to do that same high-low alternating motion, and I'm using just 1. So I'm going to do that high line, low line, and then come back on the high line and the low line with my single stick. This is the single Sinawali motion, 2 sticks versus 1 stick. And it's that same high-low motion. Now we're going to add the pokes. Dylan could change one of these into a stab. Now this stab might be coming at my face, but I just continue that Sinawali motion to block it. The principle of block, check, counter is very important in the Filipino martial arts. So once I block with this stick, I'm going to check his empty hand and counter back. Normally this counter would smash into his face, but I like Dylan and we want to continue our drill. So he's going to fade back and bring up his stick to continue that drill. This is that single Sinawali again. I'm using the female triangle footwork, stepping out of that 45-degree angle to help me avoid the strike. Block, check, counter. Block, check, counter. Single Sinawali, 2 versus 1 with the pokes. So now we can go back to empty hand, and we're going to use what's called line familiarization to apply this same drill to punches. This punch comes in on the same line that a stab to the face might, so I'm going to use a similar technique, this Sinawali motion, to deal with it. We're doing our single Sinawali here, and I still use my female triangle footwork to get off the line, but I just continue that block motion with the Sinawali to deal with the punches. Well, that's all the time we have for today. We've covered some basic footwork, how to hold the sticks, and how to swing them. We also practiced the single Sinawali motion, empty hand and with sticks. Then we added the pokes and the punches. Once you have learned and practiced these basics, you can begin to add more advanced motions and start to flow more with your partner. I'm Adam Rector. This is my assistant, Dylan Cashbaugh. Thanks for watching Modern Stick Fighting Techniques.